Right, good morning, welcome back. Now, in the 14 years I've been making content for the internet, I have been criticised now and again for making the same video more than once. Well, yes, I have. Guilty as charged. I have to fess up to that. Because in my view, people like a visual on their specific bike. I know I do when I'm looking for something on the net, and all bikes are slightly different, aren't they? If you can see something that is exact to your motorcycle, it's really going to help you, and that's exactly what we set this channel up to be all about, helping you to fix your bikes and keep them on the road. But I can say with absolute certainty, I have never made a video or a series on rebuilding a Blue Spot ISR style caliper, and these are quite a bit different. So what is so very different about a Blue Spot caliper? Well, we'll come to that in a minute, but firstly, take a look at the dreadful state of this caliper. It's absolutely awful. I don't think I've seen one as bad as that in many years. And I learned my lesson from the swing arm bearings that you can buy the parts you think you need, strip it apart and find out you need more. Now with this, the seals are about £18. The seals and pistons, if I need them too, that's about £60. And the whole caliper, if this is trashed, is £400. And I don't want to buy parts if I then don't need them in the future. It's quite hard to exchange them and get your money back. So, common sense, let's get it apart first. That's why this video is part 1 of 2. And we'll investigate and see how bad it actually is and what we need to order. Now before we start, there's a couple of threads to break free that are really tight. And the best way to do that is put the caliper back on the bike to hold it still. And one of them needs a special tool, but I'll show you that in a minute. All right, no threads seized or snapped off. That's a good start. Now, although these Blue Spot calipers are different to conventional calipers, the way the pads fit is not. That's the same as normal. So let's get them out of the way first and then I can show you the difference. Right, well in an ideal world, you take the little R-clips out with the seal pick, you just gently tap the pins out and the pads drop out. Lovely job. But in the real world, you just saw, all the 4 clips have to be destroyed to get them out. You have to literally hammer the 2 pins out with a drift because they're seized in solid after heating the caliper with a blowtorch. And we wonder why dealerships don't like working on bikes over 5 years old. This is the reason why. They can't charge you the hourly rate that accommodates this kind of work. Anyway, What is so different about blue spots? Right, well the blue spot differs from other calipers in that it's one piece, rather than the usual conventional two pieces that are bolted together that you remove and just take them in half to get access to your two pistons. This is simply one solid cast lump. There is a line there, but that's not a join, it's casting flash. That is solid one piece of aluminium. And the blue spot is an access cap. It's got a left-hand thread. You turn it anti-clockwise, it screws it inwards. That pushes the piston out, which is removed. Then the cap itself comes out through the gap. Then you've got an access hole straight through there to get to your inner piston with a tool and remove it. That's simply the difference. That's an access cap for a one-piece block caliper. Right, so far this has been a mini adventure and I've avoided the worst of the worst, which is a new caliper at £400, because the casting so far is fine, but it does have a piston stuck in the inside edge. Now the way I had to hammer that first piston inwards tells me that that one's going to be equally as stuck. But I do have one trick that might get that mobile, get it moving and bring it out. If not, then I'm going to have to buy a specialised tool that's about £60. But that's fine, because that's still cheaper than a new caliper. Anyway, let's see if my little hack works first. Wish me luck. Right, first, mount the caliper in the vise with the piston facing directly upwards so that we can soak it in a little bit of penetrating oil, because every little helps. Now, after a few minutes to soak, you need an extension bar and a suitably sized socket. Right, to do this, we're going to drop a socket and an extension bar into the back of the piston side by side and fill up the hole. And this works on the principle that if you take a close look at your extension bar and you get it to fit sideways on like that, if we twist the extension bar, it has got a wider diameter as it twists because it's square. So as it's next to the socket and you twist that from the top, it should lock inside the brake piston. Now we slip this down next to the socket, nice and snug, and as we rotate it, the expanding width at the bottom will jam in the piston and should rotate it. Now as you turn, it is turning. Give a little lifting effort to it as it turns, and hopefully it should wind it out. There, job done. That's it. All right, well, out of 22 components that make up the rear caliper on your XJR, I'm only going to be keeping and reusing just 3 of them. That's the casting. Thankfully, that's the most expensive part. My blue spot cap, there's nothing wrong with that. And the spring clip itself. These are high quality stainless steel and that will clean up very nicely indeed. But the rest of that stuff, firmly in the bin. Let's clean these bits up so they're ready to go. I've got some parts to order and I'll see you in the next one for reassembly.